Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So we will do like every time. We'll try to understand the principle. Yesterday, what was the topic we had developed?
Prabhuji, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam.
Bhoktaram. Okay. And what are the examples you took yesterday?
Prabhuji, we took the conversations between Narad Muni and Vyasadeva.
Very nice. Today also we'll take something of Samsparshija Bhoga, who destroyed his life because of sense enjoyment. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to the contact with the material senses. Also, Nakunti, such pleasures have beginning and an end. And so the wise man does not delight in them. Yes, anybody like to read?
I'll read, Prabhuji.
I can read. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, continue.
Yes,
You want me
madam.
to read?
You read. We will read here in Radha Mataji. We'll hear American accent. Very nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Material sense pleasures are due to the contact of the material senses, which are all temporary because the body itself is temporary. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. Knowing well the joys of transcendental pleasures, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? In the Padma Purana, it is said, Ramante yogino nante satyananda chid atmani iti rama paden asau param brahma vidiyate. Excuse my pronunciation. The mystics strive unlimited transcendental pleasures from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is said, Nayam deho deha bhajam nirloke kastan kaman arhate vid bhujyam ye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam sudyed yasmad brahma saukyam eve anantam. My dear sons, there is no reason to labor very hard for sense pleasure while in this human form of life. Such pleasures are available to the stool eaters, hawks. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified, and as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasures, which are the causes of continuous material existence. The more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries.
So very, very, very important instruction in spiritual life to control the senses. Okay, let us meditate on this. Everybody is ready? You like this format? We take our point and develop on that point instead of running. This is now your course has become level 3 course. Level 1 course was level 1, a basic understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Level 2 was now becoming, from tomorrow it is starting, more advanced understanding of Bhagavad Gita. And level 3 will be discussing different points and understanding them thoroughly, each point. Level 4 will be connecting the whole Gita together. That is, so Bhakti Shastri course. So I think in 4 levels it has come. Because not everybody, what you are doing now, not everybody will be excited. They're not so interested in going deep. So this will become level 3. Those who are finding this class stuff can go to level 2. Okay, level 2 starts from tomorrow from chapter 1. Okay. The format will be some stories from Bhagavatam and some higher understanding of a chapter. But whole chapter in 1 hour. Here we are just doing maybe one shloka in 1 hour. So this is a very serious point. Everybody think about examples and points for against sense enjoyment. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga. This all the pleasure that we see, we are actually imagining. It does not exist. In the discussion in the second chapter, when Arjuna asked Krishna, what are symptoms of a self-realized person? Let us go now cross reference. Go to second chapter. And in second chapter, I can rather go third, so I will be going faster because of the end of second chapter. Arjuna asked Krishna symptoms of a self-realized person. He asked actually 4 questions. Sitapatnasa ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava, siddhati kim prabhasheta, kim asita prajeta kim. Can you see here? Sitapatnasa ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava, siddhati kim prabhasheta, kim asita prajeta kim. And connecting all the dots together, why this question has come, this will take, this is level 3 and the next level, Bhakti Shastra. Arjuna said, what are symptoms of one whose consciousness does emerge in transcendence? How does it speak? How does it speak language? What does it sit and how does it walk? Basically, he wants to know symptoms of a self-realized person. And see, what is going inside the mind, we don't know. What are the symptoms? And Krishna, this is the first symptom. Prajahati yada kaman sarva partha manogatan. He gives us all the plans of enjoyment, knowing them to be only hallucinations of the mind. Manogatan. Atmani evatmana tushtan. His real happiness is within. Siddhapagna sochite. Such a man is called Siddhapagna. Prajahati yada kaman sarva partha manogatan. Atmani evatmana tushtaha. Siddhapagna sochite. Take it. O Partha, when a man gives up all variety of sense desire arise from mental concoction with, and when his mind finds satisfaction in self alone, then is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Okay, is understood? Shloka. So this is the first thing. Yehi sansvarshida bhoga dukkha yona evate. So Krishna is saying it only gives you pain because there is actually no happiness. What is the happiness in the mental world? I tell you. Suppose you put somebody's head inside water, hailing, gasping up, and then you put it out. How it is? So actually, is there any happiness? No, there is no happiness. What is it finally? Finally, what he's feeling is relief from distress. So they say that just like I'm sitting in a very hot place and you put in a room with AC. So you feel a relief from distress. There is no positive happiness. There is a very nice picture which I showed you what the happiness in this world is. So today the topic is sensual happiness. We first develop the Siddhanta properly. Maybe I finish this purport first and then I'll be free to go. Yeah. Bhagavatam affirmed that a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness or the devotion service to the Lord has all the good qualities of great cities, whereas the person who is not so transcendental situated has no good qualification because she should take refuge in non-material. Yasyasta bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvai gune tatra samaste suraha hara abhaktasya kuto mahatguna manorathe nasati dhavato bahihi. It is rightly said here in the one has to give up all kinds of sense desires manufactured in mental concoction. Artificially, such sense desires cannot be stopped. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, automatically sense desires subside without extraneous effort. So, a first point is that when you become a devotee, yes, okay, no, we were not here. We were in chapter 5. Let us finish the purport, then we will take some good example. Everybody, please think of a good example which shows somebody who destroyed his life because of sense pleasure. Because that is the shloka today. Okay? And how to protect the mind from sense ignorance. Okay. An intelligent person does not take part in sense source of misery which are due to the contact material sense of sanaka such pleasure, beginning and end. The wise man does not delight in it. Material sense pleasures are due to the contact of the material senses, which are all temporary because the body itself is temporary. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. And knowing well the joy of the transcendental pleasure, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? Knowing well the joy of the transcendental pleasure, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? So when you have a higher taste, why you will go to lower taste? Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti rama padenacha param brahma abhidiyate. The mystic derive unlimited transcendental pleasure from absolute. Therefore, the supreme spiritual person God is Rama. That's the name, meaning of the word Rama. So instead of this temporary pleasure, Krishna is saying, Yehi sansparshya bhoga dukkha oyana evate adi antavanta. This pleasure, beginning and end. Natarahetu damate buddha, intelligent person doesn't delight in it. Because he is experiencing unlimited continuous pleasure, so why he should settle for temporary limited pleasure? Why he should do that? He rather enjoys. When somebody is enjoying unlimited spiritual happiness, he will not be attracted to material happiness, isn't it? Isn't that the proof of being involved in spiritual happiness? Because there's no interest in material happiness. Okay, makes sense. This first page is done. This is a very famous verse from Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, 1st verse. Na ayam deham de bhajam niloki. This is the teaching of Rishabhadeva. Kashtan kaman arate vidbhajami. Don't in this body try to enjoy sense pleasure. Kashtan kaman, because you're working very hard. Na Nayam deha de bhajam niloke kashtan kaman arate vidbhajami. Tapo divyam putarkayin sattvam shuddhyet yasmat brahma sokyam tvanantam. Na ayam deha, not in this body, which you got in the human form of life. Don't work hard for kama, sense jnana. Do some tapasya. What kind of tapasya? Guided tapasya. What will happen? Yena shuddhe sattvam, your heart will get purified. What is the use of purifying the heart? You will experience unlimited spiritual happiness. This is the direction of Rishabhadeva, my dear sons. No reason to live very hard for sense pleasure while the human form flies. Such pleasures are available to the 2 liters hawks. Rather, you should undergo penance in this life by which your existence will be purified, and as a result, you'll be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasure, which are the cause of continuous material existence. The more, okay? So those who are spiritually advanced, why they learn for material sense pleasure? The more one is addicted to material pleasure, the more he is entrapped by the material miseries. Makes sense? The more interest in sense pleasure, more attracted to material miseries. Okay, now let us just think about how to understand this deeply. Which are the examples mentioned? One example we have, the Prabhupada quotes an example, is of Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya said, Yad avadi Krishna padare vindaye. You see Yamunacharya Vani quote. Can you see that? Let's come. Text 21. This is quoted in the Yad avadi mama cheta Krishna padara vindaye navanavara sadhamni udyatum rantum asit. You all can see now. Yadavadi mama cheta Krishna padara vindaye navanavara sadhamni udyatum rantum asit. Tad avadi batanari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikara sushtu nishti vanam cha. Since I have been engaged in the transcendent loving source of Krishna, realizing ever new pleasure in him, whenever I think of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought and my lips curl with disdain. A person in Brahma Yoga or Krishna consciousness is so absorbed in the loving service of the Lord that he loses his taste for material sense pleasure altogether. The highest pleasure in terms of matter is sex pleasure. The whole world is moving under its spell, and a materialist cannot work at all without this motivation. But a man in Krishna consciousness, greater vigor without sex pleasure, which he avoids. So now, Yamunacharya was a king actually. As a king, previous life, before he became a sadhu, he was a king, the great Acharya. King means he had many wives. and he knows what is sex pleasure. Later, he became a great acharya, a great devotee to the Lord. But from the past, those thoughts sometimes will come. So he said, when those thoughts comes, I spit at thought. Phew! So it's not easy. Really, it's not easy to spit at it. No. But because he's experiencing higher pleasure, he's able to give up lower pleasure. Okay? Ever new pleasure, nava navarasa. Every moment I am feeling nava navarasa. So whenever I'm thinking of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought. Okay? Is it clear? So today we will take some shlokas of controlling the mind and senses. Okay? There is a very nice instruction comes from Prahlad Maharaj also on the same point. Yanmaya tunadi Grihamed Sukam 7945. So we locate it, not difficult. Veda base 7945. This is Prahlad Maharaj offering prayers to Narasimhadeva. 7th canto, 9th chapter, text 45. Yanmay tunad grihamed sukam hitocham kanduyanen karayoriva dukkha dukkham tripyanti neha kripanah bau dukkha bhaja kandutivam manusajam isheheta dhira yanmay tunad grihamed sukam hitocham. The sex pleasure the people enjoy, I spit at that. Thu. Again, thu. Kanduyanen karayoriva dukkha dukkham. What is that rubbing hands lips together? The only sources of misery. Tripyanti neha, nobody has been ever satisfied. Kripana, miser. You could have gone for higher pleasure. You're a miser going for this pleasure. Bahu dukkha bhaja gives you only unhappiness. Kandu tivam manusajam vishaheta dhira. Yanmay tunadi grihamed sukam hitocham. Kandu yanin karayoriva dukkha dukkham. Tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukkha bhaja. Kandutivam manusajam vishaheta dhiraha. Okay? It's very nice or not? Beautiful? Now you see, the dhira person, he tolerates these urges. For no, Tripyanti, you're never satisfied. You're such a miser. Only gives you so much. Again, see, dukkha bhaja, so much misery you bring on it. And if you are an intelligent person, you control this urge. Yanmay tunadi grihamed sukam tuchha. It's horrible. Why are after that? Sex life is compared to rubbing of two hands to relieve an itch. You suppose I have, sometimes you get an injury. The 3 ways you can be here. Doctor said, don't itch, the infection is spread. You tolerate. That is Sattva-guna person. You can tolerate. Rajoguna, little funny laugh. He'll do little itching, little funny laugh. Tamoguna, blood is coming, is itching. That is madness. That's all. Sex life compared to rubbing a 2 hand to relieve an itch. The Grimed, so-called Grahastha, have no spiritual knowledge, think the inching is the greater platform of happiness, although actually it is a source of distress. The Kripanas, the fools who are just opposite of Brahmanas, are not satisfied with repeated sensuous enjoyment. Those who are dhira, however, who are sober, who tolerate the itching, are not subjected to suffering of fools and rascals. Okay? Is that clear? Nice. Beautiful.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we got very nice instruction, Prahlad Maharaj, that we tolerate the itching. Comparing the, just like suppose itching comes, it goes away. Similarly, the desire may come in the heart, but finally it goes away if you control. If you control, it goes away. If you don't control, then there is trouble. So we discussed the Yamunacharya, then we discussed, yes. Now in the Bhagavad Gita, there is another beautiful shloka in the same category. Okay, we are now discussing Siddhanta, then we'll discuss some story. Okay, now let us take up the Siddhanta from Bhagavad Gita, which is called Bhogaishwarya.
Yes, Prabhuji, I know that shloka.
Tell the shloka.
भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया पाहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधो न विधीयते.
Yeah, very good. What is the number?
It is maybe 2.41 or 42.
44.
Yes, 44, 44.
Here it is. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanham. We all practice the shloka. Taya aprahita chedasa vyavasayatmika buddhi samadho namidiyate. If your mind is distracted by sense enjoyment and opulence, that's what you want, then if mind is totally tayaprita, then the determination to serve Krishna will never arise in that heart. Samadho, fixed, because he's distracted now. So bhoga and aishwarya, if you allow within your system, you're choking your spiritual growth, because then you're not going to fix your mind on Krishna. Okay, done. Now let us take some story from anybody has a question of the Siddhanta now. Anybody here?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Then what is this
Ah,
institution called marriage that we have set in our society?
no, I'm not able to hear you.
We have set marriage as an institution in our society, right? I mean, it is accepted.
No,
and
Maya is Maya for everybody. Not that it's not Maya for a married person. Not Maya is not, oh, you are you're a married person, for you I'm not Maya. Maya is Maya for everybody. He has to minimize it. Not that he just married, he enjoys sex day and night. No. He has to minimize it if he wants to progress spiritually. Correct. Maya is Maya for everybody. It's not that Maya is for brahmachari now, it is Maya for now. You understand? You got it now. See, what we are talking is principle. This principles we are discussing. Now we have gone to the application of ashrama. That is a separate issue. But principle is true, no, for everybody.
True.
You got it?
Yes.
See, you cannot say it is a divine pleasure. It's not. It's a base animal pleasure only. There is no divinity about this pleasure. Don't say this is a divine pleasure. It's a base animal pleasure. That's what Shastra is again and again reminding us. Okay, now let us go to.
We have to become like Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He also lived in family life, but he engaged his family in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, yes. Now let us just develop the Siddhanta more. See, this is Rishivadeva, which is quoted. This was the shloka quoted 5.5.1. There are a series of shloka he sees. Let us see how it evolves. Nayam de bhajam niloke kashtan kaman arthavidu bhajame tapo divyam putrika yena sattam shuddhe dasmat brahma sakyantananta. Na ayam deha, not in this body which he got in the human form of life, we should work hard for sense enjoyment. This is principle for everybody, not that it's not principle for Grahastha. No, Baba. This is the principles we are talking. Tapo, you have to do some tapasya. And what kind of tapasya? Guided tapasya. What will happen by that? Yena stuttam shuddhe, by which heart will get purified and you will experience unlimited spiritual happiness. Just we discussed that. Let us see what he says in the next shlokas. There are beautiful series of 4-5 shlokas here. He is actually about to leave the world and go for renunciation, Shavadeva. He calls all his sons and is giving a class. Can anybody father give a class like that? So beautiful class is giving. So much knowledge is there in the class. He says, Mahasevam dwara maho vimukte tamo dwaram yoshitam samke sangam. If he keeps company of Mahat, your door of Vaikuntha will open. But if you keep company of tamasic people, you open the door of hell. Mahanta se samachitta prashanta viman viha surida sadhavate. Next is telling the qualification of Mahatma. Okay, that is what it is. One can attain the path of liberation, mental bondage, only by rendering service to the highly advanced spiritual personality. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. When one wants to merge into Lord existence or wants to set personally regarded, one should enter service into the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in activity, ascetic people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas, the equipoids, they do not see any difference between now living entity and another. They're very peaceful and are fully engaged in devout service. They're devoid of anger. They work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such persons are known as Mahatmas. Okay, very nice. So they take company of Mahatmas, open of Vaikuntha open. Take company of sensual people, door to hell is open. Okay. Let me take the next one. There's some few beautiful shlokas come in this. Yeah, so look at this. Nunam prabhataha, you certainly become mad. Kurte vikarma, and you do great sinful activity. Karma means activity. Vikarma means great sinful activity. When yati indriya priti apnoti. If you make sense enjoyment the goal of your life, you're certainly going to do very soon a great sinful activity. Nasadu manye yato atmanaya. You're already suffering because of your past sinful activities. Why you want to again do sinful activity? When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad and gives it all kinds of sinful. It's a sliding slope. If you make a goal of life sense enjoyment, it's just a matter of time you start doing sinful activity. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he's already reached the body, which all the temporary is the cause of his misery. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on the mental body, but has been avoided the mental body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it is not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activity of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets one body after another. Okay? So you got this. So you got a lot of tattva on sense enjoyment. It said you'll if you make sense enjoyment the goal of your life, very soon you'll do great simple activity. Okay. Now let me take up an example, and the best example is of Ajamila in the Bhagavatam. Okay, tattva wise, anybody has a question? Anybody has a question that you're all understood the tattva?
Yes.
No questions? Everybody is clear? In the fifth canto of Bhagavatam, description of the hell. And immediately when Parikshana hears this, he wants how it can be saved. So for that example, Shukamani takes example Ajamila, who by chanting name of the Lord was saved from hell. Now, I think previous chapter. How we get trapped by sense enjoyment. Ajamila is the example we all know. Just wanted that portion to be read, that's all. Just let me get there. Yes. Anybody has a good reading? Can you help us, please? Yes.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please read.
In the beginning, this Brahmana named Ajamila studied all the Vedic literatures. He was a reservoir of good character, good conduct, and good qualities. Firmly established in executing all the Vedic injunctions, he was very mild and gentle, and he kept his mind and senses under control. Furthermore, he was always truthful. He knew how to chant the Vedic mantras, and he was also very pure. Ajamila was very respectful to his spiritual master, the fire god, guests, and the elderly members of his household. Indeed, he was free from false prestige. He was upright, benevolent to all the living entities, and well behaved. He would never speak nonsense or envy anyone.
Okay. So let us understand this. The Brahmana Ajamila studied all the Vedic literature in the beginning, correct? Anna? This is see his beginning of his life. So such character, all good character he had, good conduct, good qualities. He was doing all the Vedic rituals, very mild and gentle. He kept his mindness, senses, everything under control. He was very truthful. All wonderful qualities, chanted the mantras, very pure, very respectful, free from all pride, very benevolent, well-wished behave. Did not even speak nonsense, not even envy anyone. So you can see all the good qualities are there within him. And we all know how he lost. So let us just hear what happened. Yeah, next.
Once this Brahmana Ajamila, following the order of his father, went to the forest to collect fruit, flowers, and two kinds of grass called samit and kusa. On the way home, he came upon a Shudra, a very lusty fourth class man, who was shamelessly embracing and kissing a prostitute. The Shudra was smiling, singing, and enjoying as if this were proper behavior. Both the Shudra and the prostitute were drunk. The prostitute's eyes were rolling in intoxication, and her dress had become loose. Such was the condition in which Ajamila saw them.
Okay. So Brahmana Ajamila, following the order of the father, went to the forest to collect fruit, flowers, and two kinds of grass. So father told him, bring these all items from the forest for worship. And he saw on the way back a Shudra embracing a prostitute. The Shudra doesn't mean by birth. Shudra actually means a person who does not follow regulative principles. Even he's born to Brahmana family, he'll be called a Shudra if he does such activity. Because Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya are bound by rules and regulations. They have Diksha. Diksha means you're bound. You're not independent. You give up your independence. You make a public pronouncement, I will never do intoxication, I will never gamble, I never take illicit sex, I never eat meat. So you are actually taken an oath. So he cannot do that. If you do that, he will be called a Shudra. So the Shudra, anyway, by his activities of singing, smiling, as is the proper behavior. And if they were both drunk, prostitute eyes were rolling in intoxication, dress had become loose. In this condition, Ajamila saw them. Yeah.
The Shudra, his arm decorated with turmeric powder, was embracing the prostitute. When Ajamila saw her, the dormant lusty desires in his heart awakened, and in an illusion he fell under their control. As
Totally
far as
trapped. You understood? He got totally mind got trapped. Yeah.
yeah, as far as possible, he patiently tried to remember the instructions of the Shastras, not even to see a woman. With the help of this knowledge and his intellect, he tried to control his lusty desires, but because of the force of Cupid within his heart, he failed to control his mind.
Yeah.
In the same way that the sun and the moon are eclipsed by a low planet, the Brahmana lost all his good sense. Talking, sorry, Taking advantage of this situation, he always thought of the prostitute, and within a short time, he took her as a servant in his house and abandoned all the regulative principles of a Brahman.
You can see that one by one, he got lusty. He brought the prostitute home an excuse of doing some, household work. Then he got totally trapped. And then,
Thus, Ajamila began spending whatever money he had inherited from his father to satisfy the prostitute with various material presentations so that she would remain pleased with him. He gave up all his Brahminical activities to satisfy the prostitute. Because his intelligence was pierced by the lustful glance of the prostitute, the victimized Brahmin Ajamila engaged in sinful acts in her association. He even gave up the company of his very beautiful young wife, who came from a very respectable Brahmin family.
okay, next.
Although born of a Brahmin family, this rascal, bereft of intelligence, because of the prostitute's association, earned money somehow or other, regardless of whether properly or improperly, and used it to maintain the prostitute's son and daughters. This Brahmin irresponsibly spent his long lifetime transgressing all the rules and regulations of the Holy Scripture, living extravagantly and eating food prepared by a prostitute. Therefore, he is full of sins, he is unclean, and is addicted to forbidden activities. This man, Ajamila, did not undergo atonement. Therefore, because of his sinful life, we must take him into the presence of Yamraj for punishment. There, according to the extent of his sinful acts, he will be punished and thus purified.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
So everybody got something today. What was our development today till now? Our point we are developing is that symptom of Neelam Gupta, just wait, we'll give you. So point we're developing is that sense enjoyment is an enemy. In Bhagavad Gita also, this is very nicely developed by Krishna in the 3rd chapter. In the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, see, all the links are there. Don't worry, I'm not taking away any link. This is in the Bhagavad Gita. If you take Bhagavad Gita, the 3rd chapter, Arjuna asks Krishna, how can I do it? It's very difficult. It looks like by force I have to do sense gratification. Yeah. Okay. Somebody else want to take a chance for reading some Krishna's more. See, today we'll dedicate the time to how to control the senses. Very important. Okay. Anybody like to read now?
Prabhuji, may I read?
Yeah.
Okay.
From 36.
Text 30. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion, and later transformed into wrath, and which the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Thus, the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind, and he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Mighty Arjuna, one should study the mind but deliberate spiritual intent. Thus, see, this is insatiable enemy known as love. So again, Krishna in this chapter is talking. Arjuna goes to Krishna. Krishna, what should I do? My situation is, Krishna, as if by force I'm engaged in this impaired by sinful acts. Krishna says, lust only, Arjuna, with born of contact with passion, transfer wrath, all devouring sinful animals. It's a sinful enemy for everybody. The more I'm advanced in spiritual life, the more I'm free from lust. The proof of spiritual advancement is freedom from lust. Okay? A fire is covered of smoke. An embryo is covered in the womb, or and a mirror is covered by dust. It's different degrees we are covered. We discussed this in the class. Fire covered also minimum covering. More covering in mirror covered by dust, and embryo covered in the more total thick, very thick covering. So what happened by this? Living entity's conscious become covered by eternal form of energy in the form of lust, never started burst like fire. The senses, mind, intelligence, sitting place of the lust. Generally see what happens. This suppose you go to a situation and everybody is drinking there. Lust means any kind of enjoyment, not only sex. And everybody is drinking there. So first thing is the senses get agitated. You hear the smell, and if you're a drunkard, you also want to drink. Then the mind. Your mind is saying, no, no, I don't like it. And intelligence is there, hey, not going to get into it. Mind is sankalpa, vikalpa, and intelligence is determination, discrimination. No way you're getting it. And mind is saying, no, no, I reject it. But as the senses get more agitated by the smell, you yield to it. Okay, no problem. I'll have only half glass. Intelligence still staying, will not take it. We told you you're not going to touch it. But when the mind becomes very agitated, intelligence also succumbs to it. So I will drink it, and in such a way that nobody comes to know. So intelligence, instead of protecting us, starts planning how to do sinful activity. So this is how the stage by stage you get conquered. Intelligence is like your personal black cat commando. You can say mind is like your room door. Senses is like the door on the gate of your house. Suppose you have a house, you have a lock on the main gate of the house. You have one lock in your door in your room, and you have a personal bodyguard that's intelligence. The first thing the enemy attacks is the door, and he enters, killing the door, breaks the door and comes inside the main gate. Then he attacks your door, room door, and breaks it inside. Then you still have backup commando to protect you. Then he attacks that and makes it, into his own servant. So intelligence, instead of protecting, start planning sinful activities and destroys our life. Okay, I think enough of the tattvas for today. All these links we can put one. I'll just share in the chat. One. The second. No, I located the words. Two. Third. Fourth. Okay, done. So 5 links what we discussed I have put here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is it clear? This shloka is understood?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We can discuss now. Anybody has any objection, question, clarification?
Prabhuji, can I add?
So what is the whole idea? The temporary pleasure we have to give up, and we have to take up to eternal spiritual pleasure. In fact, a proper started movement in America. That was the main problem. All the hippies that initially came to him, not all, most of them, were addicted to even drugs. Prabhupada did not care that. He was telling them, I am giving you a higher pleasure. And very soon they gave up everything. So, yehi sansparsha bhoga dukkha, this enjoyment of the senses, sense object looks very attractive, but is the cause of great pain. Because in another respect, the pleasure that gives you has a beginning and an end. And an intelligent person does not delight in such pleasures. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, there is one more example to this shloka that
Huh?
who spiritually fall down. That one of them is Bilva Mangala Thakur. After that
Oh. Why your voice is very thin today?
Prabhuji, I think so due to internet connection.
Okay.
I'm leaving and joining so many times.
Yeah, Bilumangala Thakur is another example. Very nice story. You will recite. You know the story. You can recite it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Tell.
Bilva Mangala Thakur, due to some curse in the previous life, so he became like a woman. He became like a woman hunter. He used to go and embrace all the.
What happens in the previous life? What happened in the previous life?
In the previous life, once like this, he was a sannyasi, so he wanted to get some money to feed the devotees. So then he went to a cremation where the young princesses were crying because their father lost the life. So then so then he was burned along with the diamonds. So so the sannyasi thought that I can use these diamonds for the service of Krishna. So he said, don't burn this, stop it, I'll use it for the pleasure of serving Krishna. Then he went.
No. Your story has little got out of the way. One girl had died, princess, beautiful princess had died. And the father king had buried her with all the diamonds and jewelry.
Yes.
So what happened? He went to collect all that. He can use it for his Lord's work. So he dug it up. And when the body was opened, it was fresh. And she was very beautiful. He saw the naked body of a princess with all the diamonds and thing. He removed that. But the sight of even the naked body of the girl blew his mind. And that is how he fell down. That was harassment. So when he died in the next life, he had the desire. And the prostitute was, had a similar body to this princess. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, so he used to do like that. And then there was a prostitute named Chintamani.
Same. He was probably the same princess or somebody similar. Yeah. He used to run behind her.
Yeah, he used to run behind her. He was too much lust. He had too much lust for her that that one day when it was raining, he was like bereft of his association. So during the rain, he crossed all the river and went to Chintamani's home. That time there was the door was not opening because it was locked. That time, he wanted to go above the wall. So he did one thing, that he misunderstood a snake as a rope, and then he climbed and he went on the other side. Then he went, and then he asked Chintamani. Then he went to Chintamani. Then Chintamani said that if you loved me so much, if you would have showed this love to Krishna, then you would be benefited a lot. So after that he left all renounced things. But again there was another prostitute, and he also got attracted to her. So that time,
And not prostitute. Okay. Adding story here and there. Not another prostitute. Okay, so Bilumangala actually was distracted. In fact, in his house, his father died. He quickly did the ceremony. He did not have even cool head. Even after quickly told Brahmana, finish the ceremony, and he ran to meet the prostitute. He was so much victimized. Like Ajamila, being a gentleman, got crazy. This Bello Mangala was also crazy. And when he went to meet the prostitute with a great difficulty in rain and so many difficulty. When he met the prostitute finally, and she said, if this much effort you would have made to see Krishna, your life will be so successful. She was a devotee. And this shook him to the heart. Generally a man wants to be a hero in front of a woman. That's a tendency. And when she said, you are just, mad after this body of mine. But actually, if you're mad after Krishna, your life would have been so successful. You took so much risk today to meet me. But actually, in the river was flooded and so difficulty. You took so much risk to meet me. If you were dedicated like this to serve Krishna, your life will be so great. She just gave him a piece of advice. It shook his heart. And from there, he straight said, I'll offer myself to Krishna. So when he was going, he saw a lady, a gentleman lady, walking on the road. And as his bad habit of running behind women, he started following her. And she went to the house, and then she told her husband, a man is following me. And then he went in the house. So the husband came in. Yes, sir, please welcome. You are our guest. So I want to talk to your wife. So his wife came, and he was feeling very ashamed of his mind. He said, can you give me your hairpin? So the wife said, okay, here it is. She didn't know what he's planning. He immediately took the hairpin and broke both the eyes to both of them. What are you trying to do? He said, no, I want to go to Krishna, but I'm so distracted by my eyes, which are dragging me away from Krishna's lotus feet. And he landed in Krishna, therefore blind. So I landed in Vrindavan totally blind. But he so much surrendered to Krishna and so sweetly did sadhana that Krishna personally used to come to hear him sing and even maintain him. Just like we read about Madhantapuri was maintained by Krishna, and Bilu Mangala Thakur was also maintained by Krishna. And this Bilu Mangala became so great devotee later that he wrote so many nice poems in glorification of Krishna that he became famous for that. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to relish the composition of Bilu Mangala Thakur. Okay, so this is one more example how lust destroyed. Even Ravana is also a similar case. He was destroyed. In fact, we don't read much of Ramayana, but then briefly it is explained in the Bhagavatam, 9th canto Ramayana, where it said how just because of that, he destroyed everything. His mother, his wife, his brothers, everybody told him, this is foolish what you're doing, even his son. But he was just totally trapped and he lost everything. So today's shloka is on sense enjoyment. So anybody has any reflection? Thotaji, what is the reflection on this?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I maybe read it from a wrong source. So.
Yeah, no problem. Thotaji, what's your reflection?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Reflection is, this is a lesson on what not to do.
We saw Ajamila, we saw Bilu Mangala,
Yes,
we
yes.
saw Ravana.
All of these are meant to serve as examples of what not to do in life and not to prioritize sensual gratification, I think. And
see what happens in the sex life. Somebody may say, he was mentioning about Grihastha. The point, let me clarify that point also. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay? Yes, Thotaji. See, there is two kind of margas in the Vedas. Yes marga and no marga. No marga, particularly just say for sex life. No. That is brahmachari and sannyasi. No means no. And you can easily control sex life if you say no. If you have a plan, Bhishma says that how to control sex to that. He said, have a decision never to have sex. Just like, suppose, this is for brahmachari, okay? Suppose, or a sannyasi, suppose you have a plan that you will drink or you might drink. Both are dangerous. Because if might drink is there, then when you see the ad, you may think, okay, I may have it. Which one I'll take? But when there is no, then even I spend 100 crores, I cannot entice you. So firm determination for, see, sometimes some people tell me, It's okay. Now instruction is for brahmachari and vanaprastha sannyasi who are not involved in sex life. That maybe today I'm brahmachari, tomorrow I live with grihastha. So sometimes I think about women. You cannot do that. Brahmachari means no thinking. There is no midway. There is no midway. Chalo, abhi hum brahmachari hai. Maybe I'll get married. So therefore I sometimes stare at girls. You cannot do that. You're not brahmachari. You are mithyachari. You're a hypocrite. Brahmachari means no. No means no. You got it. He's not able to control, then there's a separate issue come. But he cannot say I'm brahmachari. But sometimes I think about women because I'm planning to get married. Nonsense. You're not a brahmachari at all then. You're just a show bottle. Correct? Brahmachari means you cannot think about women. Not allowed. Take care. I'm telling a principle. See, I'm not saying I'm epitome of the principle. That's the principle. So vanaprastha sannyasi means no. That's a no marga. Now, everybody cannot follow no marga because it is difficult. And 90% people cannot follow. Even in the ISKCON movement, most of the people get married after they join. Correct? Some people remain brahmachari. In my temple, everybody is brahmachari. But some temples, when join, they are brahmachari, but after some time, some become grihasthas. So some percentage will become grihasthas. And ISKCON has a simple policy. If you live a simple life, if follow all the rules of grihastha ashram, temple will maintain you, but your life should be brahminical. Expenses should be minimum. Not just say you want AC, I want this, I want this, I want this. For your own house, temple say better one of you work. We will not provide you. Temple will get the minimum maintenance, which will not be sufficient for a, what do you say, middle class level grihastha life. No way, no way. Better work. So many times people join as a brahmachari, but 5-10 years of training, they try to be sincerely brahmachari. But if they feel that the urge is very strong, one of the persons start work, they get married, and one person in the family better work. That's the practical term. So because we have not come for the moment to take anything, we have to come to give anything. In an exceptional situation where it's very brahminical and it needs a very less, lives a very austere life, doesn't want some big, expensive furniture, doesn't want some big, washing machine, all this, grasa life, these all desires will develop. That will better earn and live a gentleman life. One of you at least. So yes, marga means yes, but under control. That is grihastha life. There are controls. And I cannot speak with brahmachari those controls, but you can study grihastha life has controls. It is not like cat and dog living together, dog having one. No, that is not grihastha ashram. Ashram means the place is for purification. Just having a family doesn't make it ashram. Just like wearing a dress of a brahmachari does not make it brahmachari. And he should be following the rules. And brahmachari rule is he should not even think about sex. He should not plan sex. There are 8 rules of brahmachari, I'll tell you. That is there in the Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter. That is just think, no marga is not easy. One more now for you. Okay? It's very difficult actually, no marga. So no marga, if not possible, no marga, yes marga. But then yes marga, you have to see what are the rules. That is called pravritti and nivritti. Nivritti leads to very quick spiritual advancement, but it is difficult. That's the point. And generally not possible. Okay. Now I'll talk to her. Yeah, this is the text 10th verse of the 6th chapter. Now Prabhupada is explaining the rules of yeah.
Should I read?
No, I'm just locating.
Okay.
It says here in the 6th chapter somewhere that Ishirike, it's because the shloka said, free from desires. Okay, it looks sacred place. There's one of the verses says he should be free from sex life. And their proper says brahmachari. Eleven, 12. Okay, maybe in this. Basically, it is in the verse Prabhupada quotes that brahmachari means and all kind of situation, thinking and planning, every action, he should not even think about sex life. That is But if he just decides that I'm not going to do sex, it should be easy. Maybe in the 13, 14, it comes here very nicely, Prabhupada explained. You hear that it is shuddering. Oh my God. Okay, now look at it. Yagnavalkya says, Karmana manasa vacha sarva vastu sarvada sarvatra maithuna tyago brahmacharyam pratakshate. This is brahmacharya. The word brahmacharya meant to keep and completely abstain from sex and indulgence in work, words and mind at all times, under all circumstances and in all places. ठीक है ना? ये लगा दो notice board में. Brahmacharya. Correct. All those who say they are brahmachari, they should put this in the front of them. And with no marga is not easy. What is said? In all work, in words, mind, at all time, under all circumstances, and in all places. Means you cannot have a, here so detailed by written, you cannot find an exception to this. Maybe some places, all places. And some situations, no, all situations. At time, no, all the time. And where? Body, mind, words, everywhere. Work, you cannot think about it. So this is actually another, I'm giving you an instruction. So this no marga is generally difficult. So people go for yes marga. But in yes marga, there are various rules and regulations which people ignore. They think it has been given yes, but then it is not given yes without rules and regulation. Rules and regulation. So the Grihastha should find out then. Study rules and regulation of Grihastha Ashram. Type is gone. Grihastha Ashram rules. If I say it will not be correct, I should not be talking about it. Because I am brahmachari. Anna. So you should study then what are the rules of Grihastha, because then it will help for spiritual advancement. If the rules are not followed, then see whichever ashram I am. If I follow the rules, like brahmachari, I told the rules are tough rules. It's not easy. But Grihastha also has rules. And if Grihastha is following the rules, he's called Grihastha brahmachari. He's also called brahmachari. And he's also candidate of spiritual advancement. You see, the great spiritualist like Vedavyasa is a Grihastha. He's not a brahmachari. Bhishma was a brahmachari. His son Shuka was a brahmachari. But then, so many other authorities are Grihastha. Brahma is a Grihastha. He is also not brahmachari. Anna? So many authorities are Grihastha, some are brahmacharis. So that is a different criteria. Wherever one is, person should follow. And the good example Prabhupada is given, Gajendra is trapped in the crocodile. Prabhupada gives a beautiful purport there. Let me locate that. So he said the purport there, he says that for some person, Gajendra Moksha, which canto it is? 8th canto. So please don't mind one thing which I'm doing. I'm extempore taking class. Somehow neither I am so well planned and neither I get time. So I'm just together, I'm taking class, I'm searching for references. I know it is a bit irritating for all of you. Let's see if Swamiji comes prepared. It will be so nice, but okay. So Gajendra prayer for surrender. So elephant Gajendra gets trapped in the situation, correct? The beautiful place is described, Trikuta mountain. Okay? Crocodile attacked. And so in this area, Prabhupada says, while discussing this Gajendra Moksha, one day we will read this whole narration. Prabhupada said something very beautiful. He said, look at the Gajendra. He is very comfortable in land. Look at the crocodile. He is very comfortable in water. So every person therefore should decide which ashram is comfortable for him. Correct? Gajendra was not comfortable in water, and crocodile will not be therefore as comfortable in land as he is in water. Okay? So therefore, our goal of life is not to become brahmachari or a grihastha. That is not goal of our life. Our goal of life is to go to Krishna, not to become brahmachari or grihastha. That's not our goal of life. Goal of life is to go to Krishna. So we use whichever ashram is comfortable to us, but follow the rules and regulations of that ashram. That is needed. And what is the result of that? You should be free from all sex desire. But that's the result. So in Grihastha ashram, you can also do that. Brahmachari ashram, you can do that. But provided I follow the rules and regulations. That is the point. Okay? So, You see, now from this instance, we may take a lesson of fight with Maya. So we are all fighting in Maya, either in Brahmacharya ashram or Grihastha ashram. We should not be in a position in which our strength is sensibly unable to fight vigorously. Our Krishna conscious movement has actually declared a war against the illusory energy in which all the living are rotting in a false understanding of civilization. The soldiers of the Krishna conscious movement must all possess physical strength, enthusiasm, and social power. To keep themselves fit, they must place themselves in normal condition of life. What constitutes normal condition will not be same for everyone. Okay, it's not. And therefore, there are different divisions, varnashram, brahmachari, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, brahmachari, grihastha. So brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya. In Kali advice should no one take sannyas. Okay. Therefore, understand the age of sannyas ashram is poverty. People are not strong. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us an example. It takes at the age of 24 years. Even Sarvabhattacharya advised. Take care. There is no harm if one thinks he's unfit for sannyasa. If he's very much agitated sexually, he should go to the ashram where sex is allowed, namely Grihastha ashram. That one has been found to be very weak in one place does not mean that he should stop fighting the crocodile of Maya. One should take shelter of the Lord Spirit of Krishna, as you see Gajendra will do. Same time, one can be a Grihastha if he's satisfied with sexual intelligence. There is no need to give a fight. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore recommended Stane Sita Shrutikatan Tanuva Manobi. One may stay in whichever ashram suitable for him. It is not essential that one takes sannyas. If one is sexually agitated, he can enter Grihastha ashram. But one must continue fighting. One who is not in the transcendental position can take sannyasa artificially is not a very great credit. If a sannyasa is not suitable, one can enter the Grihastha ashram and fight my great strength. One should not give up fighting and go away. You got it? So for somebody may find brahmacharya ashram comfortable, somebody may find grihastha ashram comfortable. That's external. That's not the goal of life. You use whichever you find comfortable to advance the spiritual life. Okay? Understandable to some extent?
Yes.
Thota ji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. See,
Ah.
I think
Ah.
Ajamila's story is also a story of hope, Prabhu, the way they describe it, because he was at his lowest point in his life, right? And then he wanted to recover. And for that, he actually inflicted physical harm on himself by taking away his visual senses.
No,
And
no, that was Bilumangala Thakur. You're mixing.
Yeah. And then
That
Ajamila.
was extraordinary. That is not to be followed, but just a principle. The principle, certain example, we should just appreciate the principle. What is the principle of appreciate? We should determine. That's all. Some people like Raghunath Das Goswami used to, in once in 2 days, take little butter. If you want to live like that, just appreciate. Namaskar karta tha. You cannot imitate. These people are inspiration. Correct? Haridas Thakur chanting 192 rounds all day. They say Namaskar. It's an inspiration. We cannot follow that. Some of the things are extraordinarily advanced. We cannot follow, but serve as an inspiration. So Bilumangala Thakur also had that radical decision of throwing away his eyes is not to be followed, but principle. How much determined we should be if we want to achieve Krishna.
Right. And his path to deliverance, I think, was naming his last son as Narayana, so that in daily
Ajamila, yes.
Ajamila story, right? So he could use that the name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his day-to-day life, and that actually created that positive impact for him, I think. Right? In spite of you say 1,000 mistakes and just one good thing that he performed, I think he was delivered by the Vishnu Dutas ultimately, and he could get passage. So for us also, right, Prabhu, it's also learning, for me individually. I'm doing this in the 45th year of my life. So there is still hope, I think.
Never late. Never late.
It's never too late.
What we can do is that when we read all these things, we can become a little more sincere. And we should know the principle is that my heart has to become pure. Everybody, whichever ashrama is situated, that's separate issue. But the goal remains same. The heart has to become totally pure, in which we can hold the Lord's lotus feet. Correct? Unless the heart is pure, we cannot hold the Lord's lotus feet. Correct?
Ji, Prabhu. Yes.
Somebody can achieve that in Brahmacharya ashram, somebody can achieve in Grihastha ashram, somebody can achieve the sannyasi, that's a separate issue. but he can situate himself where he's comfortable to sit. Gajendra can stand comfortably on his stand. Professor, when Gajendra was in water, his blood was coming out. He was losing his strength. So suppose you're in an artificial position, you'll lose your strength instead of being able to fight properly with Maya. Correct?
Ji, Ji Prabhu.
With a cool head, you should be able to work. With the cool head. Suppose I'm doing my service to Krishna. I should be with a cool head, sit every day, plan, organize my preaching and work. But suppose I'm feeling little agitation in my mind, better get married. In fact, we joke in our ISKCON, if you're thinking to get married, not get married, better get married. There is no discussion. If you're thinking that, should I or not, don't discuss, over, get married. So if that is the thing in the mind, should I get married now? Get married. Why you're thinking? Thinking is over. It's all over. You already lost the war. Better get married. Be peaceful. In fact, there is one very nice joke. They say, Delhi ka laddu jo ne khaya wo bhi pasta hai, jo nahi khaya wo bhi pasta hai. This is a very slang language used.
Right.
So Prabhupada says always it is true that those who get married, they feel, I wish I was a brahmachari. And those are brahmachari think, I wish I would have got married. That is always there.
Ji Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay, so overall idea is that we today we show the shloka. What does the shloka say? The sense enjoyment, yehi sansparsha jab hoga, dukkha yona. It is pain for everybody. Not that I am a brahmachari, it's pain for everybody. And such pleasures have a beginning and an end. This is also true for everybody. And those intelligent people do not delight it. But how do I come out of it? Now, if you can say no straight away, that's congratulations, over. The problem is over for you. But now strictly follow the rules of brahmacharya. Now you are sitting without marriage and you think about women, it is horrible. There was once an example now to illustrate this point. I hope I'm not taking too much time, everybody. There was an example of actually 1.5 hours should be ideal this class. So 9:30 to 11, 10 more minutes. Actually supposed to begin a little early. So now what happens is that once there was a sannyasi by the name of Chota Haridas, not the Haridas we say chanting 192.
Yes,
Chota Haridas Thakur, once what happened, went to collect rice for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu itself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visiting the town and he went to collect rice from a beautiful woman, sister of Sikhi Mahati. And when collecting rice, he just lustfully glanced at her. That's all. Didn't speak, didn't touch her, didn't. One mistake. What did he do? Just glanced at her lustfully. Okay, mistake is done or not? And he came and gave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while eating prasadam. He knows everything. His Paramatma. Who brought this rice? Such a beautiful rice. It's a Chota Haridas. Can you tell Chota Haridas not to see me anymore? Oh my God! When Chota Haridas was such close to Lord Chaitanya, his heart broke when he heard that. Just like Guru rejecting him. And because Chaitanya wanted to set a standard. And it so happened that he fasted for a few days when he heard that, could not believe this, that he has been rejected. Means get out. Get out. He was furiously angry. You're a sannyasi, you do this. Huh? And this was taken very seriously. And situation that from miles, far away, he used to take darshan Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya entering the temple, miles far away. You can just get a glimpse of Lord Chaitanya walking, but he could not see him. Correct? He didn't want to come in his presence because he said, don't tell him to come near. And for 1 year, he waited like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not give him darshan. In fact, all associates of Lord Chaitanya requested him, kindly pardon him. He said, this is unpardonable. Dress up a sannyasi, this robe does this. And then 1 year after, Chota Haridas Thakur went to Haridwar, committed suicide, jumped into the water. And news of that went to Bengal. Bengal, when they came to meet, every year they used to come to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for Jagannath Puri. They informed that Chota Haridas committed suicide. Some people watched it. And the news of that, spread and came. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew. One day he says, devotees around, they have come to know this will happen. They didn't inform Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you can tell now Haridas, he can come. So they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He actually committed suicide. Yes! That is the only prayashrita for somebody who's sannyasi and does this. You got it? how strict he was actually. Correct? You just imagine the level of strictness, unbelievably strict. In fact, Chota Haridas used to come every day to Lord Chaitanya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as a Gandharva, he had taken the body of a Gandharva and sing in the ocean. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to take bath, he used to sing. And I'll show you this Haridas singing. Can you see this? Can you all see this?
We did not share the screen.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is one big problem in this. We don't know when we are sharing, when we are not sharing. Okay, now you all seeing?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna? Yeah. So, okay, this has to go down. Yeah.
बाबू मत करो, नाचो मत, थक गया ना तुम। पेट ठीक लग रहा है अभी कषाय पीने के बाद?
Can you see this? This is Chota Haridas Thakur.
Yes, Prabhu.
And he was actually a very great devotee, Lord Chaitanya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just used this example. You should read the large purport proper rights, why he acted such seriously. Because otherwise, this would have become standard. Are chalta hai, kabhi kabhi thoda chalta hai, you know? You see this? And the devotees, when they were taking baths, sometimes they used to hear him singing. And he was very famous musician for Lord Chaitanya. Before he got rejected. Chaitanya loved his. He had a very sweet voice. And he used to sing for Lord Chaitanya in kirtans. And he used to love his kirtan. But later, after his suicide, he used to came as a Gandharva and he used to sing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to see, take his seva. So externally rejected, not internally. You understood that? And enjoying his singing. And he used to sweetly take his service. And devotees say, hey, it's a ghost of Haridas has come on now. So it was not the ghost. It was he himself coming in Gandharva body and singing for Lord Chaitanya. Okay? Now, in the same light, there was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a disciple called Shivananda Sena. He was a grihastha. And he came to Lord Chaitanya after having a child. So basically, that means he had sex. He just looked lustfully. He had sex. Produced a child. He came to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya even gave him name. So why such a contrast? Because one created hypocrisy. See, we should be honest with what we are doing. I'm a grihastha, he produced a child. And he came to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya blessed that child, even gave him a name. But here is a person who just looked lustfully, was condemned to death practically. Why? Because one is situated in his ashram, honestly. Another person did a work of hypocrisy. So, sometimes Lord arranges such strict punishment, but that is just a lesson for all of us. That don't make joke out of spiritual life. Okay. 2 examples give a lesson principle. Thotaji.
Yes, Prabhuji. That's what Prabhupada says in his speeches, that sex life is enough, but hypocrisy is not enough.
Yes. Nobody likes a hypocrite. Nobody likes. Anna Thotaji.
Ji Prabhuji.
Anna?
Absolutely, absolutely. Very true. Very true.
Okay. So any discussions now more on this? हाँ तो सर ने बॉम्ब फेंक दिया था बहुत टेंशन हो गया
Prabhuji, I'd like to add one point. Like
हाँ
material life is like per varga, like per for ba bha ma. Per means like you do so much hard level. Per you do like that. Then for means fina means what the form you comes when you do hard level. And
yeah
then ba means bifala means all the hard work you do it's nonsense, it's useless because it will give you temporary pleasure and it
then
will have a temporary result.
Pa, fa, ba. Then bha means?
Then bha means bhaya. Means,
Yes, very good.
and then ma means mrityu. Khalas. Material life is over.
Very good. Material life means this pa, fa, ba, bha, ma. Parishrama, pa, fa, fena. In Sanskrit, it is fena. And English, we can say foam. Pa, fa. Everything is come from Sanskrit only. This is how near is fena and foam. Pa, fa, ba. Bifala. Vyarthata and bifala, both meaning are taken. Waste. And then bha means bhaya, because so many difficulties. And then that. Okay, Hare Krishna. Nobody has questions. Only two people are talking, Het and no clarifications, no protest. Okay, we can appreciate the principle, everybody. My whole point was that our goal of life is to become heart, is to become pure. Whatever ashram is comfortable for you, take shelter of that ashram, but sincerely follow the rules and regulations. And gradually, your goal is heart should totally become pure, in which you can hold the Lord's lotus feet. Correct?
Yes,
Kotaji. Anna, no compromise on that. Goal is clear, means you can choose which is convenient to you.
Ji Prabhuji. Clear, very clear.
Yes, Prabhuji. Like there is difference between Grihastha and Grihamedi. Grihastha means he is in an ashrama and he follows the rules, while the Grihamedi means he does not follow any rules and he is there in material life. But many people now onwards they just like even Grihamedis claim themselves as Grihasthas. But there is a difference.
A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. So we don't run after temporary pleasure. Knowing all the joys of transcendental pleasure, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy the false pleasure? So okay. Hare Krishna. So we break today. Vancha kalpatarubhacha kripa sindhave Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnava namo nama. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So from tomorrow, we are also starting chapter 1 onward. Again, if somebody is interested, we can come. That is one chapter at a time, little more difficult. Okay? Just like today I've done. This is an organized Thotaji. It could have been a nice presentation. All slides are ready, all photos are ready, all comments are ready. Correct?
Yeah. Ji Prabhuji. What is the link from tomorrow's class, Prabhuji?
Chapter 1.
No, the link, the same Zoom session. What timings?
My personal link, not temple link, my personal link.
Your personally. What timing, Prabhuji?
6 morning,
Okay.
night 9, 11. I started for the 8th batch, but if previous batch want to come, they're also welcome.
Okay.
Because what happened when 6th batch, 7th batch people came, they felt that we are already ahead. Not only that the people in the class are already very advanced compared to them. So they're feeling a little uncomfortable and they found it tough also this little too. They want more easier, softer. So I thought let us create a bridge and one more so that people can come for this kind of study. This study will be like we take one point and study nicely thoroughly. Anna?
Ji.
Prabhuji, this is going to be more detailed than the other one.
Then Bhakti Shastri, connect the whole Gita. Hare Krishna Vandana Mataji, you wanted to ask something?
Hare Krishna.
You wanted to say something?
No. By this generally it happens.
Where do you stay?
I'm in Mumbai, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please chant Hare Krishna. Request to everybody. Wherever you are, whichever situation you are, please chant. And that will make everything nice. My personal link. See, my link is very easy. Just wait. See what you can do. Okay, for old Bhakti Vriksha, it's already been shared, I think. Already been shared in your groups. Okay, for you people from coming from old Bhakti Vrikshas, if you want to come in here, welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Poonam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Today my son has gifted me the whole set of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Oh, wonderful. Where? He is there. Which place you are in?
I'm in Delhi, Prabhuji.
Very nice, very nice. So you have such a glorious son. He's so happy. You are reading Bhagavatam.
Yes, I'm very happy, Prabhuji. So I will start reading Bhagavatam.
Yes. You start cover to cover. Read the
Yes.
introduction, read preface. Always read books properly, cover to cover. Study. Okay.
Yes,
And also we
Prabhuji.
have Bhagavatam class every day morning, 8 o'clock. You attend it sometimes?
I attended one class, but then only I'm helping one poor child with his classes.
Okay.
So
The time
online classes.
that
So
you can
that's why.
always see all the classes which we are doing, just like today's class, all the class go to a channel. You can, all of them are recorded. Nowadays.
Yes.
You can
Yes,
always.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. I'll do that, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I have shared the
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
in the group.
Yeah, this is the link for the class. No, the channel.
Yes, Prabhuji, we'll share it again.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Take care. So, Head will come now. And we are to prepare tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna. Who is link? Head.
Prabhuji, the thing is like.
You also have a problem of your internet, no? Your internet is become
Yes,
very weak. What happened? UAE has a problem now?
no, it's not like that, Prabhuji, but I don't know why today only it's not working.
Hello. Great. ठीक है. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhave cha patitana pavane vyo vaishnava namo namanat kodi vaishnavindaki jai.